Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We are going back into r/AmITheDevil, and if you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up the wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications, or I don't know, for engagement, just say bread in the comments. I don't freaking know. This thing's weird. Also, if you guys would like to save 10% on your next order of gamer subs, use code Tommy at checkout or click the link down below. They release new stuff every week and it helps out the channel a lot. Thank you. How can I regain my 25M Fiancee 25F trust? Hi. English is not my first language, but I will try to make things short. I, 25M, have a relationship with my fiancé, 25F, for almost 9 years. In 2024, I had to travel to Spain for work for 5 months, and I did not have any money nor contacts to support the two of us there, so I went alone and left my girlfriend in our country. We are Latinos. While in Spain, I tried going to a board game club, and then I made some very good friends, but I connected more with one of them than the rest. Let's call her B. So, the first time we meet, we and 7 other friends from the club went to have a few drinks outside of the club. It's a pretty common thing to do in Spain. But after that, we discovered that we had friends in common and started seeing each other more frequently as a group. I usually was calling my fiancé every night, at least for 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes for hours. We even started watching Game of Thrones together while having calls or a comment on what was going on. But since knowing this group of friends, that time I was spending with my friends have slowly taken time reserved for my fiancé. It is also worth noting that while going outside with my usual friend group B and 4 other people from the club to have dinner and drink, we like to take photos of our going outs, and part of those photos were with her alone. So, after a month or so, we, B and I, grew accustomed to each other, and then B started doing things with me, like giving me a ride to the board game club and back, 15 minutes from my apartment, always considering me for dinner and bar after the club, or planning activities together, and the rest of my friends. Since I know her, I didn't think I'll have her anything like having second intentions, but somehow I felt that she was having considerations that she hadn't had with the rest of my friends. I told her about my fiancé of almost 9 years, but didn't tell her that it was my fiancé. It sounds stupid, but it was a private info I didn't want to share. Even just some people in my family knows. So I thought about those considerations, like the cultural difference, and go with it. Part of the activities I did with my group of friends were activities, like going to a pub or disco to dance for a little, going to a comedy show, to a theater, etc. My fiancé wanted to try, but didn't have the opportunity to do it with her, due to time or circumstances. But because I had time, I was alone, and friends in this new country. I did things with them first. My fiancé was kind of sad seeing me do these new things. Did not tell me specifically, but I knew it. Then, on an opportunity, B started inviting us to her house, and we went there, but I didn't tell my fiancé because I thought that I would make her even sadder. So I told her that I was going to the club. I know that was a bad thing to do. So, we went to her house, played board games, go to her pool, and watched a movie. Then returned the next day. Her house is outside the town center, like 40 minutes by car. Then, because I was talking to B about going to Aranjuez, I think that's how you say it, and another little town I was interested of, she told me that she could take me there on Sunday. But because we had a scheduled going out with the group on Saturday, she proposed me to go to her house, rest, and then go to Aranjuez. Her house is like half the travel to Aranjuez. I didn't want to let the group know that I was spending the night at B's house so they could misunderstand what was going on, and I told B about it. When we were planning this via chat, she was talking to me about lingerie and if I liked it. She is part of a drama club and was having a monologue about some redacted stuff. I told her, I'm not fond of it, but maybe you will make me like it. Again, another bad thing to do. After that Saturday appointment, I went with B to her house, and we spent the night having a drink and playing board games, and then we sleep, in separate rooms of course. Nothing physical happened. The day after, we went to Aranjuez and the other town as planned. We finished by 6 p.m. I feel bad about lying to my fiancée, so I told her about the next meetings we had as a group at B's house, but I didn't tell her about the first times. Eventually, the days went on, and by a month ago, I returned to my country, mainly because I wanted to see her. Everything was going wonderful. I went finally living with my fiancé as we planned before the travel, and we had plans to get married and return to Spain. I had to work from 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. or to 11 a.m., but it was worth it to be with her. A week ago, I went to sleep a little early because of my work, but my fiancé woke me up and started asking me about B and how many times I went to her house. I saw her with my phone, and I felt terrible, because she saw all of those messages about me not wanting my friends to know that I was going to B's house, about the lingerie talk, and about the night I rested there before going to Aranjuez. She confronted me, and we discussed and cried a lot. I told her it was a misunderstanding, but she started thinking the wrong things, and being fair, I have hid her that information, and had not trusted in her. After talking things out, she told me that she considers it an infidelity, and after pondering, I recognize that I have disrespected her. She said that she didn't want to stay in the house with me, so I left, and I am currently with my family. I want to recognize my responsibility in this situation and amend things. I really love my fiancé, and she is the one that I want to marry and spend my life with. She also loves me, even after this situation. But she is obviously hurt. I want to make a compromise to her that it won't ever happen again. So we have a schedule and open therapy sessions, and we are currently waiting for it. I want to know by you guys, what are your thoughts about the situation? I really don't want to lose this relationship, and thank you for reading this long post, and sorry for the bad English. P.S. I forgot to mention that B has a physical impairment in both feet and hands, so she has to use a wheelchair permanently. She needs help to do things. Edit. I arrived in my country 1 month ago. Since that day, I didn't have any contact with B as in Spain, just the occasional message every week or so. Should I cut all that contact out? I really don't want my fiancé to distrust me. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this right now. You very much worded that horribly. If I was your wife, I feel like I would be seeing things the same way that she would be. And, yeah, you got a lot of explaining to do as to what actually happened. Because, you know, it's not like that kind of makes it sound like you did something completely different and something that you're not telling everybody. No, it totally don't sound like that. Am I the a-hole for calling my mother-in-law a bad housewife? I don't know where to turn, so I am turning to this. I guess, you know, because Reddit's always the wonderful idea. I called my mother-in-law a bad housewife in front of my husband and father-in-law. So, a bit of a backstory. My hubby and I have been together for 4 years, and married for 1.5. His mom has never liked me, and she can't give me a reason why after I asked her. The smallest things will set her off, like when I was pregnant and the food she made triggered some nausea, she almost went crazy. When we have been living with them for about a year now, and it's been a year of hell so far. In the past, she has made house rules to suit her, and when we played along with the rules, she would get upset. My father-in-law works overseas, and he comes home every few weeks. She does not clean the house before he comes home, and I mean their living area and the bathroom. When he is here, she does not wash his clothes or hangs them. We had a rule in the house, which was her idea, that 3 times a week she makes food. And then the rest of the week it is me, and when you make food, you have to clean up the kitchen. The 3 days that she does make food, she leaves the dishes in the sink just until the morning of my day, or she would ask my husband to clean the dishes before I started cooking. After a while, she just stopped doing the dishes on her nights, and my hubby and I had to clean the kitchen every day. I talked to her about it because she would ask us to clean before her day begins, and we agreed to keep to the house rules. Father-in-law's last rotation came around, and now he is home for good. They don't really talk to each other or even eat dinner together. On grocery runs I made with her, she told me that father-in-law is very unhappy with her because the house is always messy, and she doesn't do his laundry, but she told him that she will not be his cleaner, and he can do it himself. The newest thing, and the final straw for me, was that she started a diet recently and decided that she will only be making food for herself, and I need to make food for the rest of the house. She will only be cleaning her own dishes, but she never does. She would leave her dishes in the sink until my hubby washes them, or she would pick out her things from the full sink and was them. I decided that I would start doing the same, as I am not the wife of the house. I started only cleaning my things and hubby's things, and I could see it really bothered her. Then she started leaving all of her dishes on the drying rack for days until I asked her to put them away. During the day, I would be the one that offers to make my father-in-law a cup of coffee or something to eat, as she just makes for herself. A few nights ago, she was complaining about something my father-in-law did, and I guess I just snapped. I said to her that she is a bad housewife because her job is to take care of her husband, and she refuses to do that. Everything and everyone was silent for a few minutes, and she just left the kitchen. So, am I the a-hole? Somebody being lazy around the house? Yeah, no, that can kinda suck. You telling somebody else that it's your job to be taking care of your husband like it's the 1950s? Yeah, that's not putting you in the good light either, okay? I kinda think that you might be happier just trying to find your own place at this point. So, I finally fought my cousin and physically harmed him. J-Tube is sensitive. Knocked him out and broke my aunt's glass table in front of all his friends and girls. He started to cry and scream for help, and called me crazy. So I snapped even more and picked him up and dragged him outside and put his face into the swimming pool. Now I can't go into details. The dogs were barking crazy. It got hectic. He didn't even land a hit on me. My uncles had to stop me, and the neighbors called the cops, so I had to leave with my other cousin to stay there for a bit. My mom is, of course, pissed at me, as you should, because, you almost drowned a person, so I can't go there for a while. No surprise there. I don't know when I'll go back, with any luck for them, never, but I have no money for food, and I hear that he is pressing charges against me. No shit, but I think it's my aunt encouraging it. I doubt that, but he had to go to the hospital. He has a broken tibia, and a fractured scapula, and he had pulmonary edema. He should not have pissed me off. I went over there to get my games, and he just had to show off in front of those darn girls. This time I wasn't having it. He called me a pathetic loser in front of them. And one thing I can't take is pretty girls laughing at me in my face. And so I snapped. My aunt was gone. It was just my uncles, but they were smoking in the garage when it happened in the living room. He threw my games onto the floor and told me to pick it up, you pathetic loser, in front of the girls. So I snapped, and now he is in the hospital fighting for his life, and I am currently homeless at my other cousin's house for now, but can't stay long term. Also, I think he may press charges, cause he is currently unconscious right now. Possible brain bleeding as well. So my cousin has a homie, and I may stay with him for a few days, but he says I'm going to have to pay at least $100 for a few weeks' stay. My mom is pissed at me and won't even answer her phone or text me. My other cousin said that she is so mad at me for being emotional and not letting God handle it. Also said that I should not have put my hands on him, since he did put his hands on me and how I almost deleted him. Yeah, so I don't know what to do. I had $20 because I was going to get my games and then to go to Jack in the Box after. But I dropped it in the skirmish, and I heard my aunt found it and said he doesn't deserve anything since he can't keep his hands to himself, and how I let the devil get the best of me. They are all mad at me. I am getting texts from family in Texas, Georgia, Tennessee, and Oklahoma, and even California. All mad at me. Some of my ninja gangsta cousins are proud of me, but I just couldn't take it anymore. I can't go anywhere because I don't have my ID or social security card, and my birth certificate should be coming next week. I'm going to tell my mom that he was having love encounters in her room. Now I am truly all alone. I don't know what to do. I hate to do this, but if anyone can cash at me anything to get something sweet, yeah, I'm not showing that. Sure, since my cousin left to go check up on that other fool in the hospital, he won't be back until late tonight. I am hungry, angry, and frustrated, and scared, because I may be going to jail, or worse. This may be the end for BPV. What the frick is that? I am sorry I failed you guys. I know you used my videos to help, but I couldn't control myself any longer. I just couldn't. The old me came out, and I couldn't hold back the demons. I am just going to stare at a wall and think for a bit. You know, it's almost as if there's usually consequences tied to your actions. Like, if for some reason somebody thinks that acting like a high school bully in front of the girls and them laughing at you is going to upset you, instead of deciding to just getting your stuff and leaving, you decide to almost end that person's life. Yep, that totally seemed like a justifiable response or anything, and now, lo and behold, bad things have happened to you. Dang, it's almost as if that could have been avoided. The best thing you could have done is just not giving them a reaction. Anybody who acts like that is very much a bully, and they live off of the reaction. Almost drowning them is very much not the way to go about this. Am I the a-hole for playing pranks on a former friend? I enrolled in university, and over the first semester became really good friends with a classmate. We did everything together. Studied all of the time on campus and at each other's residencies. Went on runs and hikes and nauseum. Museum maybe? I don't know. Played board games and talked and texted every day. Due to the length of the time that we spent together, I didn't really hang out with anyone else. 2 months in, she, out of the blue, told me that she was SA'd and probably R'd by her brother for years as a child, and asked me to help. I don't know how you could be unsure if you were that, but whatever. So I spent hours upon hours going on walks with her to manage her breakdowns. She would have meltdowns when we were studying together, and found her a therapist, all upon her insistence. The thing was, I developed a crush on her, so I asked her out. She initially said yes, and then no. We continued studying as friends, which is when she made those disclosures. I was just shocked by the content, but uncomfortable, and wanted to help, and did. But she followed up on them by saying that it happened to her dad as well, and how her brother continues to harass her to this day, and whom she continues to see. About 4 months in, I had her over at my place, and I asked her out again, and she said that she didn't feel that way, etc. I guess I had trouble accepting it, so basically was pleading for her to give us a chance, and after like 15 minutes of me basically begging her, she agreed to give some intimacy a shot, and so we made out. It was awkward, and she could tell that I didn't have any experience. I am on the spectrum, so this was like the 7th time I made out with anyone, and had never made it past second base. Nothing happened after that. But then she became distant, and after everything I did for her, I got upset. I made sure not to threaten anyone or do anything physical, but I did walk into a study room that she was in alone one night and asked her for an explanation, and she told me that she didn't want any association with me. So I was upset and decided to play a bunch of pranks, which included signing her up for quotes from moving companies, test drives from car dealerships, text alerts from cities and public transportations, and military recruiters. It also included signing her up for Mormons to reach out for a home visit at her parents' house from a Jehovah's Witness. Looked up the address. I saw on TikTok that you can order 500 empty boxes from USPS to any address in the country. So I looked up her brother's addresses and had boxes delivered in her name. Then I posted flyers that said Chewbacca Roar Contest with her number on another big university campus with tens of thousands of students, and she got some calls. I didn't think the flyers were a big deal or anything, but they got me on camera, and the school suspended me for 2 years for stalking. Am I the a-hole for playing these pranks, which I thought were genuinely funny? I feel like she's really leaned on me that semester and dropped me cold turkey. Gee, I wonder frickin' why. So let me get this straight. Somebody said no to you, so you thought it was a good idea to, let's see what you did. You persisted them for 15 minutes and egged them on into making out with you, wondering why they then didn't want to have any association with you, so then after that, you thought it was a justifiable reason to go around spreading out their phone number, getting stuff shipped out to both their address and their family's address, and you wonder why they don't like to talk to you. Gee, dang, it's almost as if you probably shouldn't have done any of that. A prank isn't a prank if it's at somebody else's expense. It's no hee ha ha if it's only one-sided, dummy. But with that, that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. And I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye!